Ganesha, and hopefully everybody can just simply click on the Ganesha mantra chant. And I'm going to look for my little camera so everyone can see me, and I can sort of see everyone in my mind's eye as I can see who's logged in. And is the video showing? I wish I could see it. Okay, is it properly centered? I'm operating totally blind right now.
Tilt it to the right. No, keep going. Keep going. Okay, that's good.
Is that good?
Virtual tour.
Can everyone see me? That was the virtual tour. Did everybody see you? Could you say hi? Yeah. That's good. I can see myself there, but I can't see myself on my screen. I don't know. Silliness is going on. Okay. Welcome all. A little humor before we begin. And of course, there's lots of communication humor going on, if you haven't noticed, with planets doing all kinds of alignment things in the sky and Mercury being quite powerful in the land of communication. So I'm just thankful that you can see me and hear me, and I can gladly operate blind, no problem. So maybe that will be fixed after we chant together the mantra to Ganesha to remove obstacles that stand in our path as we look to the next few days of this program to really live with an aware and each day about what we're going to eat, how we're going to wake up, when we're going to wake up, and all the choices that we make. So let's take a moment to pause and to collect ourselves in coming together in this digital format. So it's like the true pranic nadis that connect us with a little help of video and audio. But 20,000 years ago, perhaps this is how all meetings were done. People were in different mountaintops connecting through the T-mail and gathering. Om Gananam Tva Ganapatim Havamahe Kavim Kavinam Upamastravastamam Jeshtarajam Brahmanam Brahmanaspata Anaha Shrinvanu Tibihi Siddhasadanam Vakratunda Mahakaya Suryakoti Samaprabha Nirvignyam Kurume Deva Sarvakaryeshu Sarvada Siddhi Buddhi Shakti Sahita Shri Mahaganadhipataye Namo Namaha Nirvignyam Kuru. Namaste. Okay, so let's see. We have a few people. Oh, I see the record button now, and I'm going to press it. Great. All right, so let's start the meeting post-chant. And I guess before we begin, I've been following the Facebook group quite closely, and I know some of you will be watching this recorded session, and others of you have logged in live. But I just want to see if there's any questions as you are coming into this particular time, into part 2, and I will explain what has already been happening starting today. But any chat questions out there? So I'll give that a minute as I'm drinking my ginger turmeric honey tea. Did you get any questions? Okay. All right. Well, we are going to now move on. And everyone, please click part 2 PDF. And I'm going to give it a moment for everyone to do that. Okay, part 2 PDF. So I'm going to assume everyone is there with part 2 PDF, and I'm trying to figure out how to make it smaller. If you're like watching me make weird faces, I'm just trying to arrange my screen to be properly, and I can't hide my enthusiasm over trying to make it so. Okay, now, should I screen share?
Can you see the question that just came in?
No. A question just came in. Sorry, guys. Otherwise, I'm very excited and ready to start talking about part 2. And I think I will screen share, mix it more interactive. Yes, so this is happening. Of course, the full moon is going to be here on Sunday. Some of us are going to be at the peak of ovulation, and some of us are going to be in the disintegration phase, if you will. And sorry the men logged in, but this is happening around you, I'm sure, in some way, shape, or form. So if you start your moon cycle during the program, I can say that the teas, for the most part, and the diet will be quite beneficial. But you should definitely stop all herbs, and you should stop all yoga practices, including pranayama. You can do silent meditation, but you really just want to rest and relax, and you actually don't do any of the oiling practices either. So really the only part you're following is the diet and pretty much the teas, and that's about it. You could play with oiling the feet and things like that, but as a general rule, 3 days of the menses in Ayurveda are kind of like the just retreat and don't do much of anything zone, and allow Agni to focus on releasing and then, of course, digesting food easily and comfortably. So, thank you for that. I told myself that I did want to say something about that. Okay. Show screen. Is my screen showing? Okay, fantastic. We are doing well. Okay, so part 2. Everyone, I believe, is doing well, finding all the information on the website. So the PDF reader, for those of you who have done programs with us before, leave it to a good Vata to always want to change things up. And also Vata management, just to put everything into one digital file as best as we can. So that's the only sort of thing you need to look at, especially in the digital technology world. So everything is in the PDF for the most part. So what are you going to be doing? Your checklist is your primary sort of organizing force. And there is a second digestion reset quiz there for them to complete. I'm not sure where the digestion quiz is living.
Part 2 digestion quiz?
Uh-huh.
Oh, it's a link.
Okay, it's a link. If you can't find it, let us know, but your digestion reset quiz is new for part 2, so make sure you sort of check in and do that. Your daily practices continue with the morning prayer, continue scraping the tongue, drinking warm water in the morning with the juice of half a lemon. Now you're going to be drinking ginger and turmeric honey tea twice a day. You're going to then, other than that, pretty much sip warm water throughout the day. And I mean warm water. Of course, room temperature water is okay, but warm water is best. Why not do your best? Self-oil massage, follow with an Epsom salt bath 4 times during part 2. And I've suggested times for you to do that. But of course, if those times don't agree with you, it's okay. You'll see when we get to the checklist. And then oil the feet at night before bed. And there's a very entertaining video of me and Raja teaching you how to oil your feet. And so if you haven't caught that yet, be sure you do, even if you know how to oil the feet. There could be an extra juicy tidbit in there that you are not sure about. Okay. Exercise practices. We added to the pranayama and continue with Namaskar. The asana stays the same. Consistency is really good. Changing things up a lot is not sometimes amazing. So the asana core series stays. And then we added the body reset series, which is a total body reset kind of like mini workout, which has a little bit of Pilates and just a little bit of just yoga, fitness related things. And for those of you who might be snowbound this weekend, this can be a really good way to do some fun activities at home. And with that in mind, we continue our 20-minute walk every day, but this weekend 40 minutes. And I thought to myself while getting ready for the seminar, let again your East Coast friends know that 40 minutes of shoveling is equivalent, if not better than just simply walking. So get out and play in the snow. No excuses. Bundle up, get out there, and enjoy it. And that'll be important in many ways of just staying active and staying stimulated. Dietary practices and recipes. There's a couple of things that are going to happen during this phase. At the beginning, there's going to be more flexibility. And partly it's because we're heading into the weekend. So it's much easier to cook for yourself and take care of yourself for most of you over the weekend. And so I wanted to let the weekend not be simple khichdi and allow your khichdi mono diet to really be next week, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. So my method to the madness is that it's much easier to know what you're going to eat Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, which is khichdi. You just keep making khichdi and putting in a thermos and eating it. And yes, perhaps getting bored of eating khichdi, but your digestive fire should be getting stronger in some way if you're using the right spices and, of course, cooking it in the appropriate way for you. And for some of you, it's not going to be the most amazing tasting thing on the planet. And I just say learn to make it as tasty as you possibly can. Khichdi is basically rice and mung beans. And I will say that you can often find sprouted mung beans for sale in the co-op or whatever, Whole Foods. And sprouted mung beans take no time to cook. So if you own a rice cooker, you can put mung beans in there as well. And a rice cooker is amazing to have during these particular, well, really it's just amazing to have because you can have food prepared quite easily and quickly. Let me not stray and just come back to our diet. Ghee is going to be your friend during this phase. So ghee in Ayurveda is renowned for, 1,008 healing properties. But the important thing will be here for us is that ghee is said to help balance our digestive fire, balance metabolism, soften impurities in the body, dry them to the digestive tract, and then we're going to technically drive it out of the digestive tract by making our meals very simple, easy to digest, and kind of moving things out of our system. So why you want to cook with ghee as much as you can, and then favor things like fresh ginger, lots of cumin seeds. You can just pretty much cook any vegetable with cumin. Also with coriander, you have to sort of break up the coriander, black pepper, basil, rosemary, thyme, oregano, garlic, and of course turmeric. Those could be your go-to. You could just leave those out on the counter for the next 7 days, and they will be your go-to spices, in addition, of course, to salt, which is a given salting to taste. So day 4, which was today, you were to choose one grain and not one vegetable. Choose one grain and vegetables from your winter food list and eat the grain with your vegetables. And if you guys did one vegetable, that's pretty amazing. And your digestive system is probably definitely doing well, easily digesting stuff. But the point is that you want to start to stay with the grains in your winter food list and get to know the vegetables that are also on your winter food list as a general cooking rule between now and Monday. So on day 5, pick from the recipe provided for breakfast, lunch, or dinner. Lunch and dinner should be the same meal. So that means that whatever you cook for lunch, let that be your dinner. And that means that you don't really have to worry about the leftover content. It's kind of like the same meal for the day. And again, that just sort of starts to allow your body to use the same enzymes and to really become sure of what it's going to digest, kind of knowing what is coming. And then, same for day 6, choose one grain. We're going to delete this one vegetable here. I don't have the little pens that I used to have before, and I could mark up stuff. Okay. But it's more, you can choose for anywhere from 1 to 3 vegetables from your winter food list. And then that's kind of what you're doing. Food list, vegetables, saute them, steam them, cook them with a grain. Kind of eat that for lunch and dinner, and then keep your breakfast simple. And then try to just stay active and drink your teas throughout the day until we get to day 8, 9, and 10, which your meals will be all khichdi. And I know you're going to look at me like I'm crazy and I have 3 heads when I say breakfast, lunch, and dinner. But I do mean breakfast, lunch, and dinner. And some of you might wake up not hungry and maybe not get hungry until 9:30 or 10, and it just becomes kind of a baby lunch. And then 3 hours later, you eat your lunch and then your dinner. Now, the khichdi can be paired with vegetables. So the same vegetables that you've been using that you're going to probably maybe get sick of seeing, but hopefully not because they're yummy, and you just saute them and cook them in different ways, or you can also roast them, is that you can blend them and mix them on the side of your khichdi. So you could have some wonderful sauteed spinach and a little bit of squash with the khichdi. If that makes sense, then go for it. So here's your morning prayers, scraping the tongue. Raja took about 10 minutes to organize himself down there. That was crazy. Okay, oiling the nose. Nasya continues. There were some postings about Nasya or questions about Nasya about being cold. My Nasya, for some reason, should be cold, but I guess doesn't feel cold. But definitely you can warm up the Nasya by putting it in a warm water cup, and you can also just hold the Nasya in your hands or put it under your pillow all night long, and then you just dig it from under your pillow and apply. That could be good. Self-oil massage. How to oil yourself. You're going to do in Ayurveda what we call abhyanga, which is oiling thyself with oh so much copious amounts of oil. So there are instructions here for you to follow really easily. There's also a video that Banyan Botanicals put together that's pretty good, so we post it there until someday I, finally do it myself. Because the point is that you have to use a lot of oil, tons of oil. And most people are afraid and they think, oh, this much oil? Yes, about 1 cup of oil. At least 3/4 of a cup of oil should be all over your body. And so it's important to, protect the ground and put a big sheet on the floor, lots of towels, make sure the bathroom is warm, make sure the oil is warm. It should be done in a relaxed way, in a gentle way. And you should block about 40 minutes for this entire process to happen, minimum, if not like 50 or 55. You should try to stay in the hot bath for at least 10 minutes. As best as you can, but keep your head out of the water. And for those of you who have lots of pitta, lots of heat, I recommend that you get some ice and you put it on a wet washcloth and you just let that ice washcloth sit on the top of your head. Yes. Okay, pranayama, namaskar, yoga sequence. Here's your winter food list. I've definitely been eating quite a bit of asparagus. I have some squash that I'm going to cook over this weekend. And lots of leafy greens, tons of mushrooms, onions, all of this, sweet potatoes, spinach, sweet peppers. I can't even tell you how much I enjoy these vegetables to begin with, and they're all readily available here. And then even some of the fruits that you can mix with ghee and spices in the morning. Teas, spices to use. We already have our top spices, so you know this list already. The apple banana stew, and honestly, if you wanted to make it with cranberries, that would be okay as long as everything remains fresh and we don't do processed or canned things. I wanted to get to the khichdi towards the end. Simple khichdi. So your simple khichdi is recommended here. Some of you have asked me, what about if I have the banyan spice pack? For sure, use the banyan spice little pack. I use the banyan spice pack to cook all kinds of things, and not just khichdi. So that's a great thing to have and on hand. But otherwise, you could have all these ingredients or just simply use the banyan spice packet. And this is simple khichdi. It's just basmati rice, mung dal. You could also use green mung. So people ask that all the time. You can use either or. I like to even use sprouted mung beans as well. Sometimes I cook them all together in the rice cooker, and sometimes I cook them apart. If you're going to be eating this Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday of next week, here are some other options. You want to be fancy. Saffron asparagus khichdi. Saffron is extremely nourishing to add to the khichdi. Definitely we'll be using it in part 3 to nourish ourselves. So here is your checklist. Notice that I just basically said no abhyanga today, no abhyanga tomorrow, Saturday, Sunday, Monday, and before we end this part, Wednesday. But if those days don't work for you to take out 45 minutes of your day to do this piece, then shift it, but figure out as best as you can 4 times to do this practice of abhyanga. That's definitely something you're going to have to schedule in. Your 40-minute walk on the weekend, that just seemed like the best time to do it. But again, those of you who have different schedules like I do, I work on the weekends. I can do a 40-minute walk more easily during the week than I can on the weekends primarily. So that is that. The fun and exciting body reset workout that I innovated for you guys. Hope you like it. I just think it's kind of cute. And what did we add? Here's the Himbashtak, and here's a trick or two for those of you who asked, when the heck should I do it? Right here, it's in your reader, so that you can make the decision then and there. Tulsi turmeric tincture. If you're doing fresh turmeric, you don't need to do the turmeric ginger tincture. And the ginger tincture can be used to still do in the afternoon if you're traveling, but fresh ginger tea is always best. Here's your elimination plan. Today, caffeine was half less. Tomorrow, it's half less. And then after that, there's no more caffeine. Alcohol today is half less. Friday night is half less. Don't go crazy. And a quarter less on Saturday. Then after that, no alcohol. You're at no wheat products for most of the time while we have the alternate pastas going on. Your eggs are permissible up until I don't know, I think it's Monday, Sunday or something like that, which means that if you really love your meat and you're like, oh my God, I need more protein, this is why I leave the eggs here, even though I didn't put it in the recipe with your like spinach and stuff. Because that is really for those of you who need it. Otherwise, try to see if you can cut out eggs. Animal meat ends as of today, and fish will end as of tomorrow. So that is your elimination diet. Sorry, no more cookies. And if you get sweet cravings, there's honey. Those of you who are detoxing off of sugar, it's going to be pretty difficult. Honey might become your new best friend. And then the fruit medley in the morning could also become your new best friend. So that's what we have going on for the next 7 days. We do have our next call scheduled, so we'll be able to support the next process coming up. And I want to leave this time open for any questions because I did just speak very fast. And one question. Yes, so the question on the menses, and I know this is really hard for a lot of people, but according to Ayurveda, we get this 3-day kind of pause, no matter how active we are, to, let the uterus do its thing. You can still go on a leisurely 30-minute walk, but I wouldn't do any strenuous exercise. I would sit in meditation longer and take that time to journal and be more introspective. That's sort of what this time is for, kind of like the Red Tent Society that's been written about and communities are about. And Ayurveda wholeheartedly just follows that 3 days, no matter how active we are, that we just sort of take that pause button. So that's that. Any other questions coming in? Emma, did you get any?
No.
So East Coasters, if you get snowed in, you have lots of things to do. Don't falter and start emotionally eating whatever's in your kitchen cupboard. Jim, I'll be able to monitor you all weekend long. I'll be able to monitor you on Friday. I'm sorry, not all weekend long. Okay. Any? No? Wow, so everyone's all set. You're good to go. Everything is going well, I suppose. And if you have any questions, I will be, of course, looking at the Facebook. If there's something personal that arises, then contact me personally. But other than that, I look forward to supporting it on this side, doing my thing with you guys. And then look forward to our next and last final call. I'll see you guys on the East Coast at the beginning of February, which is very exciting, touring around. And if you're looking to keep juiced up, don't forget our Yoga Spa retreat in April. So until then, have a wonderful weekend. Enjoy the full moon. She was showing herself quite large as I took a walk before our webinar, doing my little 20-minute walk outside. And it's a big one, lots of planetary things going on, so emotions might be stirring, and just be with all of that is moving about, because it's pretty powerful cosmically out there. Oh, question came in as I went on my rampage about the planets.
Can I apply Nasya more than once a day? If yes, what times are ideal or when in relation to food?
Nasya question. Nasya is best done really once a day unless you live in a very dry climate. So when should you do Nasya? Away from food. Ideally, you don't want to combine Nasya with digestion. It kind of creates a tug of war between up energy and down energy for simplicity's sake. So ideally, you do Nasya on an empty stomach. So best times to do it would be upon waking in the morning. And then you could oil the nose around the sides, let's say if things got dry. And then if you wanted to do more Nasya, then it would be before going to bed, when you are well on your way to digesting food.
Does Nasya have to be done before Pranayama or may it be after?
Nasya can come after Pranayama. Okay, that seems to be it then. Yes? Fantastic. You guys have a wonderful evening. Everyone have an amazing weekend. Ready yourselves for next week. to really just glide into this Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday khichdi deal. Enjoy cooking and preparing your meals throughout the weekend, and just sort of working with spices and ghee and roasting and sauteing and cooking grains, and just really keeping it simple, and occupy your mind in other things other than what am I going to eat and when am I going to eat and where. Just sort of follow hunger. So let us be with that. Let the pranayama and the meditation and yoga practices really ground each day for you, and wishing you lots of success as you reset. Namaskar.